Hey guys, it's 3 a.m. It's Friday, and before I go to bed, I thought I'm gonna film a Q&A and excuse my phone. I never turn it down, unfortunately, before I start filming. I'm having water. I totally forgot I'm filming and I'm just behaving as usual. Sorry. First of all, first thing I want to mention is that Skull spells are sold out for the month of October. Full moon is next week. They're all sold out. I'm even making one extra, so two extra is not gonna happen. So yeah, just so you know. Okay, let's get into the questions. We have some good ones today. So the first question, and let me just see. I made a list of questions. Okay, so the first question I got over email. By the way, you can also email me. It's in the description. So the first question was about what to do if you know a child or you have a child that seems to have some psychic abilities. In this specific question, a child that can communicate with the dead people and is really afraid of it. Okay, so the most important thing you can do is explain to the child that there is nothing to be afraid of. Because when you're a child, you're going to be very, very scared of these things. I'm telling you this out of my personal experience because I've had these things happen when I was a kid. You know, it started when I was a child, and I was very much afraid. And there was no one really to tell me it's okay, it's normal, it's not scary. Everybody was just like, whoa. And, they were seeing me as someone not normal, being afraid of me, and things like that. So, explaining to the child there's nothing to be afraid of, there's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with them. They're normal. They simply have a gift, and they can use that gift to help others. Also, like I said, telling them it's nothing to be afraid of, nothing dangerous, nothing bad, because of how the society is, and also a lot of parents are, and you know, stuff like that. The child is not gonna feel comfortable with this gift. So another thing is that if the child tries to run away from it because of fear, which I have done. I have done it, and I have talked about it in the audios before, so I'm not gonna get into it. It's not something you can run away from. It's not something that will go away. So it will not go away. The best thing is to accept it. Now, when it comes to dead people, which is not really the term I prefer, but okay. Explaining to the child that there is nothing scary about them because they're not actually dead. They have just transitioned to a different form of existence. So they're no longer in their bodies, but there are still energies. That is important to do. Okay. So I hope this helps. Let's go to the next question. So the next question was about black magic, white magic, 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 magic. So I don't like to define magic like that. I don't like the idea of magic that's portrayed by media, by society, because that is not what magic is. Magic doesn't really have a color, to be honest. I know I I declared myself as doing white magic, and that's only because I will not do hexes, curses, anything bad to anyone. However, I do not think it actually has a color, because what magic is just psychic energy. Magic is just psychic energy. It does not have a color. That's what it is. And you can practice it in different ways, but at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're just doing some energy work. I mean, not just, it's a lot, but you're doing energy work. And the thing is that people are under the impression that magic is this manipulative thing, force that creates slaves, that makes people do stuff they don't want to do, and all sorts of things that are actually not the case. That's not what magic is. And I try to explain to people what it is and how it works, and a lot of people don't like how it works and what it truly is, because they want a quick fix. They want a love slave. They expect, after a spell, the ex to fall from the sky and to be just totally smitten by them. That's not gonna happen. That's not how it works. So magic is psychic energy. That's what magic is. Magic is not something that's supernatural. It is actually quite natural. And yeah, that's what I have to say on that question. I don't want to get much into it because that's what magic is, and that's the end of the story. I am, very much into science, into quantum physics and energies and all of that stuff, and that is what we know is actually out there. So I'm just gonna end it at that. For now, at least. Okay, let's go to the last question of the day. So, the last question is actually about my meditations. So, this person wanted to know why. Why they make them more attractive to others, how they work, why they work. So, a lot of you have had amazing results with meditations, like amazing things happening and just noticing stuff about others being more attracted to you, which is the point of these meditations. That's what I do. How? How does it work? Well, okay. So, these meditations seem like very simple, don't they? Like when you listen to them, it's quite simple. I'm just affirming you some things and you're listening to that. And that's basically it. It's the simplest form of meditation there is. There are much more complicated meditations that wouldn't be as effective, by the way, according to my research. So, why does it work? How does it work? Well, it's simple, right? It seems simple and it actually doesn't have to be complicated, because people tend to overcomplicate all of this vibrational work. And, how they work. Okay. So they simply work on your brain. They simply change your energy, because how does your energy actually change? It changes by creating some new beliefs. So if you're gonna think that you are never chosen, it's gonna be detectable in your energy, okay? And by repeating that you are, by listening to meditation like this, your brain is getting a new belief, and then it reflects in your energy. And why does this work better than just you doing the work yourself? Well, because we don't trust ourselves. We're like, no, that's not true. I'm not good enough. But when you hear an outside voice and it is telling you, it's not telling me, I am. It's different. It's like we're getting validation, like we're getting approval, something like that. That's how your brain works, okay? And that's why this form works better than just you affirming it for yourself. And then, your brain actually, as I told you already, it kind of it loves repetition. That's how it works, through repetition. So this is why it will be useless if you listen to it only once in your life, or only once a week, or once every couple of days. You have to listen to it regularly for it to take effect. And then, of course, it will depend how quick it's going to work for each person, depending on how strong the negative programming is in your brain. But basically, this is how it works. So I hope it's explained. I try to explain it in a very, in a way that everyone can understand. I always try to explain everything in that way because, that's the best way to explain things. If that saying, if you explain something and an 8-year-old wouldn't understand you, then you're doing it wrong. I think that's the saying. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a bit different with age and stuff, but I'm sure you kind of know what I mean. So basically, that is why it works, because it changes your energy. The meditation, they change your energy. Yes. And your energy needs to change for your vibration to change. So, since a lot of you have had trouble with vibrational work, I just wanted to make it easier for you. And I wanted to make it the easiest for you. So I have been testing actually which type of meditation works best on most people, and what would be the shortest and the simplest, because I'm aware that people don't like overly complex things. They don't like to listen to something for too long. They don't have time, and they lose interest really quickly. If I made a meditation that's like half an hour, I'm pretty sure you would lose interest super fast. So I was really trying my best here and went for the most convenient solution. And yeah, of course it works. Of course it works. So just be persistent. It does wonders. Okay, so I'm gonna end it here. Good night to everyone, or good morning, or good afternoon, whatever time it is when you're listening to this. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Have some fun. Do something for yourself. Do something nice for you. Relax, and talk to you soon. Bye.